breakfast. I'm ready for breakfast, and what must we do? In France, find a boulangerie and get some baguettes and pain au chocolat. So the one closest to us was actually closed, didn't open till 7:30, so we've driven to next town along to see if we can find one here. So Claire's popped in. Didn't look very open, but fingers crossed.
She's in there talking to her.
She's having a conversation with the baker. Brilliant. Ah, success!
Trois pain au chocolat.
Trois pain au chocolat in pan.
And pan baked pea. I don't know what that means. It looks like nice.
Looks like lovely.
Feel it.
Freshly baked.
Still warm.
First breakfast in our new van. And what a difference it makes to be able to sit down. Fridge full of provisions.
That's a nice car.
Ooh.
Nissan.
And that was a old style Fiat Coupe. And watch the local boy races.
Looks like an adult racer.
Okay, so off through the vineyards of the Alsace to try and find somewhere to have a shower and somewhere to have a swim. So see if we can get ourselves booked into a campsite. So let's see what happens when we get there. So where are we, my love?
Instead of on the Saturn of Saints, being high up.
So we came off the A4 and taken a cross-country diversion, part of our scheduled route, and it's taken us through some beautiful countryside. Lots of cows, lots of hay bales, but time is getting on and it's time for a bacon sandwich. But look at where we've ended up. What a beautiful, beautiful spot for lunch. So we've just pulled in, gas on, bacon sizzling. How cool is that? This is just, what a spot. What a spot. You can hear falcons of some sort flying high, and they're high-pitched calls. I can hear a plane overhead, and we've seen 2 cars. But this is what travelling through France is all about. There are some pretty big ants though, so if you don't like bugs, well, not much you can do about that really. But they're keeping themselves to themselves at the moment, so I'm sure if we leave them alone, they'll leave us alone. Smells good.
Don't tell the ants.
Don't tell the ants. So good morning, welcome to day 2 of our tour around, I'm going to say Europe, but at the moment it's just France, in our brand new van. And one of the great things about this van is that we are completely self-contained, so we've been able to be less structured in trying to plan ahead and book campsites, which at the moment, this time of year, all campsites are really busy. So we stopped last night for our first stay in a France Passion location. So France Passion is a club, if you like, that you can sign up to join for around about €30, and then that gives you access to a number of different farms, vineyards, agricultural places across France where you can just stop over for the night in fairly basic with fairly basic services, but we've had a very comfortable night here in Eagleshire in the Alsace region, staying in the grounds of a winemaker. I'm not going to say a vineyard because we're not next to a vineyard, but the family that own this property actually grow and harvest grapes. So we've spent the night here in their driveway, very comfortable, and the best thing of all is that it was completely free of charge. So do have the option to buy, when you stay at these places, some of their local produce, which we'll probably do, but yeah, nice and safe, and just turn up and grab a space. So our plan for today is to try and find a campsite for us to spend a couple of days on, because it'd be nice to have access to a pool. The weather here over the next few days is forecast to get up into the mid-30s, so it's going to be pretty hot, which is something that we haven't been used to over the last few weeks and months, because it's been pretty miserable back home. But yeah, so try and find a campsite, try and get ourselves booked in for the next few days, and we may have to sort of book that for later on in the week, and if that's the case, then we will find an alternative park up or stopover for tonight. So let's see where we end up. I'm just wondering if with -1 degrees I need to think about getting my chocks out, but I think I'll live with that. So welcome to our third stop of our trip in our new van, and we have installed ourselves in Villa, just down the road from where we were staying last night at the Huttopia campsite. Now we've stayed here before. Actually, the last time we were here was 3 years ago, I think, at the end of COVID, where everything was quite a bit different, but we were still able to camp, but there were lots of restrictions in place. So it's great to be back. It's a really, really nice site, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour around it later on. But we are slap bang in some woodland, which has been brilliant over for today because it's been really, really hot. So outside of the woods and down in the valley, it was well into the mid-30s, whereas here it's been 28 to 30 degrees, so much more comfortable and bearable. But we're all set up on a pitch where there's no electric, so effectively it's a bit like wild camping. So we're going to give it a good chance to test out all of the facilities and functions in the van that enable us to be off-grid, if you like. And so far, so good. Got a huge pitch, so whilst we haven't got any electricity, there's enough room on here for probably 2 or 3 vans, certainly compared to one of the sites we stayed at. I'm just trying to think. I think it was Salat last year, which was a very, very cosy pitch. This is probably 6 times the size of that. It's a great spot down in the shade. We're just getting ready for our tea. We might have a swanky new van, but we're still going to use our Kadak for barbecuing. Our trusty Kadak, which has been all around Europe, still serving us well and still does a lovely burger. What do you think, Mrs. JT? You're hungry? She's hungry. So am I. I'm hoping that Claire's going to realise that it's Pim's time soon. Pim's o'clock. Or Prosecco o'clock. You can judge me all you like. But those are the drinks that I like when I'm off all day in the sunshine. We found that some little tins of Pim's fit very, very well in our fridge. Oh yeah. So they do fit very well. Prosecco it is then. So we've had our first night at our Huttopia stop here in Huttopia, and as tradition dictates,
Is it heavy?
we order from the bakery pain au chocolat and bread, and that is a spectacular pain au chocolat with
Too big.
glazed icing sugar on top. What a beauty.
Can I look in the back?
Can you have the icing with me?
Yeah.
I was going to say to you, maybe we should see if we could stay an extra night here,
I'll do it for that.
in all seriousness, and I think that's just convinced me that perhaps we should.
Good idea.
So this morning we decided to capitalise on the great weather and take a drive up from Huttopia down in the valley up one of the mountains of the local area called Le Grand Ballon. So it's about a half an hour, 40-minute drive up winding alpine roads, which really is a beautiful drive up, and a well-used cycling challenge route, so being used in the Tour de France in the past. But at the top there's a great park up area. We're 1,340 metres up, and there's a stunning view across this historic landscape. So we're going to grab our lunch, and then you can take a walk all the way up to the very top of the hill, the top of the mountain, to enjoy the view. As you can see, quite busy up here. A couple of cafes, but we're going to settle into the van and have our baguette and cheese.
What a view.
What a view.
Oh, hello.
So we've had our lunch, and we are just going to take a trek up to the summit of Le Grand Ballon, which is about 2 kilometres, I think, up the track here. So, and when we get to the top, there's an amazing view, which we have seen before, but we'll share it with you when we get there. So this is the shorter of the 2 routes you can have to get up to the summit. And it says 45 minutes to do the circular route. I don't know if you can hear from my breath, it's pretty hard work. I guess partly altitude, but it is pretty steep. And obviously gravelly, rocky path, so if you're not too steady on your feet, then maybe you want to have a think about. Or invest in some walking poles. What a view so far. There's this giant, I think it's a radar beacon, which is probably part of not just communications but French defence systems. You can go up and just walk around the edge, which we'll do in a minute, to get the best view altogether. So there we are at the summit. The last time we came, which was 3 or 4 years ago, you could actually get up and walk around the perimeter. But it's fenced off this year, I don't know why. So this is as close as we can get. But on a day like today, we still get an amazing panoramic view. A bit hazy. You've got Germany over there. The Alps over here. What a great little, I'm trying to think of the word, expedition? Probably not quite an expedition. What a great hike for a holiday afternoon trip. So it's about a mile, 25 minutes back down to the van. So we'll head back down, and then we're perhaps going to stop halfway down the road that we drove up earlier, and then perhaps have a park up and a drink and enjoy the view. There's some really beautiful alpine meadows halfway down, full of glorious chiming of cowbells. I don't think you could get bored of this view at all. So we've had a great day today, visiting the Grand Ballon, just up behind us. Really nice walks up there, some tremendous panoramic views. It was a little bit hazy today, so not quite, perhaps quite not the visibility you get on a really clear day, but nonetheless it was a great day out. It's been a bit rainy now back at the campsite, so we're getting to use the full advantages of some shelter and comforts within the van. It's not raining at the moment, but we've had some thunder and lightning and some fairly heavy downpours, but hopefully it's passing over. So we had a great day out today in Mulhouse at the Motor Museum, and come back to the pitch this afternoon to get all set up, and had a little bit of a hiccup that could have proved problematic, shall we say. There was a lot, and I mean a lot, of rain overnight last night, and we are at the bottom of quite a steep hill at the campsite. There are 4 tiers working our way up. We're right at the bottom, and all the rain that's landed at the top has obviously worked its way down and made the ground very, very soft. So when we were trying to manoeuvre onto the pitch when we got back, this happened. I'm very sorry, Mr. Huttopia, but the ground was very, very soft, and as you can see, we dug down a fair bit, and to be fair, it was only my extreme skill and experience of being a well-seasoned driver, tongue-in-cheek, that we managed to get out without needing any assistance. But we have managed to get out, but what we have done is just switched to the pitch next door, which is a little bit firmer under wheel, shall we say. So hopefully we won't have the same problem and we'll be able to get off tomorrow without any problem. If we can't get off, then what's going to happen? We'll just have to stay here until the ground dries out, and we can. No real hardship there. But we have got all season tyres on the van. They came as part of the standard equipment and they did a pretty good job, but nothing really is going to prevent them digging down or bogging down as soon as they start to spin, and I'm sure any chunkier tread would just have dug the ground up even more. It's very, very soft underfoot. So I said to Claire, maybe I need to get some of those cool soft ground boards that people have mounted on the sides of their van, but we'll see. In fact, I can hear there's another car just trying to struggle to get up onto a pitch just next to us, but hopefully we'll be okay in the morning. But a little bit of excitement at the end of the day, and I think a cup of tea is in order. Oops. Sorry, Mr. Huttopia. Oh, kettle's boiled. That was quick. The Englishman on holiday deserves a cup of tea and a biscuit or two. Lovely. So I hope you enjoyed that latest instalment of our trip to Europe this summer. If you did, please remember to hit the button to like and subscribe, and join us on the next video coming very, very soon, where you'll find out, as well as we'll find out, where we end up. Thanks for watching.